Welcome friends to a review on the 2024 Mercedes GLS 63 AMG. This vehicle, it's powered by the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine, producing 603 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet of torque. And a special thank you to Bentley of High Point, North Carolina for allowing me to do this review. This is the first Bentley dealership in the United States. They are able to ship nationwide, and currently this vehicle, it's got a little over 10,000 miles on it, and it's going for around $124,000 here. The original sticker price was about $152,000, so that's about a $28,000 savings compared to sticker price. So if you are interested in purchasing this, I will have Chris Rivas and his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to contact. All right, with that established, let's go ahead and let's get this vehicle out on the road and let's see how it does. All right, I like to typically start these driving reviews in the comfort mode just to see what the ride quality is like. And I do like the way Mercedes has implemented the various drive modes into the steering wheel here. I noticed that the ride quality is pretty taut, and you would kind of expect that out of this vehicle because this is the performance version, right? This SUV weighs about 6,000 pounds. That's the curb weight. So to keep that weight at bay and to have some decent handling characteristics, they did have to stiffen up the suspension. We also have here the optional 22-inch matte black wheels wrapped in 285 tires in the front and 325s in the back. Okay, and being that this is the AMG product, you're not only able to put this vehicle into a sport mode, but you're also able to manipulate the AMG performance exhaust as well. So naturally, when you put the vehicle into its Sport Plus mode, the AMG exhaust does come alive. However, you're able to drive around in Sport Plus and disable the Sport Plus exhaust if you want. Yeah, I mean, the noise is phenomenal. It's a bit more muted even in the Sport Plus mode compared to some of the other AMG products. It's not quite as rowdy. It's more of a refined AMG tone, and I appreciate that. And as always with, a vehicle with well over 600 horsepower, you're getting up to silly speeds in no time. And the 9-speed AMG automatic transmission, that responds incredibly well, both in its automatic mode and when you're playing with the paddle shifters, okay? I noticed that the steering weight, it just gets marginally stiffer, but not too much. I always love the Mercedes steering weight. It's always perfectly done in my opinion. Never over boosted, never feels unnatural. And shockingly, the ride quality doesn't really change all that much even in the Sport Plus mode. We do have here the 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system, and of course the very wide tires that I spoke of before, so the grip is excellent. But yeah, I'm pleased to report the ride comfort doesn't really change all that much in Sport Plus. I mean, even the handling in the corners, this vehicle actually feels flat and neutral. And that's why the slightly more taut ride quality here in the AMG 63, it doesn't really bother me too much because we do get genuine handling improvements here. And of course, if you want that more wafting sensation over the bumps, you can of course go with the regular GLS. But this vehicle, it really does instill a lot of confidence behind the wheel, both at high speeds and in the corners. And that's really what you want out of a product like this. Brakes are really good as well. Brings this heavy SUV to a stop nicely, and it's a progressive brake pedal. Yeah, I love the character of this engine. It's not overdone here, and I did forget to mention in the beginning, it's not just the 4-liter twin-turbo V8, we also have the mild hybrid system as well with this GLS 63. Yeah, despite this SUV's size, I mean, it's just so easy to whip around. I mean, it just pivots around corners. The seating position is great. You can easily see around here, and it's just not an intimidating SUV to drive despite its size. And regarding the refinement, this is rather quiet. We don't get any crazy wind noise here, but I'm surprised to report that we do not have like the thicker double pane glass being used on the sides. You know, I just got done reviewing the brand new Audi Q7, and when you go with the higher like executive packages with the Audi Q7, you get, you know, the thick double pane glass being used on the front and the back side windows. So here we don't have that, but the refinement is rather good. I would, however, say something like that Q7 is still a bit quieter, but being that this is the performance AMG model, sometimes people like to have some feedback coming through, and having some subtle noises does contribute to the immersion when you drive a performance vehicle. I mean, here, like I said, the wind noise is lacking. You just get some, you know, road noise, which is not a big deal. Overall, I would still consider this to be a refined vehicle that's certainly on the quieter side. So overall, a fun vehicle, but not quite as rowdy as some of the other AMGs. That's to be expected with these kind of flagship products like an S-Class sedan or a GLS SUV. I think Mercedes has nailed the character for what this is, and I think someone who's interested in this product, they're going to be satisfied with the overall driving feel. Now, let's go ahead and let's transition into this interior segment now. Okay, now that we are stopped, let's quickly talk about this interior space, because I've already done a review on the regular GLS, and this interior is virtually identical, and that's not a bad thing. So despite having over 10,000 miles on this SUV, the build quality and the solidity here is excellent. Very similar to the Audi Q7 and the BMW X7. You touch up on some of these panels, I mean, there's no real squeaks or rattles. Everything feels sturdy, and I also like the weight of the doors as well when you open and close them. The way this SUV is spec'd, we have like a two-toned interior color with the brown and the black, and there's also these dynamic suede inserts throughout with the seats and also on the steering wheel as well. The suede is nice to grip onto, but considering the way it wears out, I mean, some people are not a big fan of it, but you know, when it's new, it is very nice indeed. I like the finishing of the various buttons here. That's well done. Once again, as I mentioned before, seating position, all of that is very comfortable, ergonomic, no issues. The seats are pretty comfortable, and these bolsters, they really do hug you tightly. We have the excellent Burmester audio system, nice powerful sound. I do think something like the S-Class 4D Burmester sound system is still going to edge this out, but this is certainly not bad. It's a powerful sound that you're really going to feel in your body, all right? And one of my most favorite aspects about this vehicle is this is rocking like that quote-unquote previous generation infotainment layout. Okay, we have the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with the 12.3-inch infotainment screen. There is still a lot going on here. It does take some getting used to, but at least we have physical buttons and switches for things like your HVAC. So this and the GLE Benz, one of the few vehicles that maintain this type of a infotainment slash HVAC layout. We do have some gloss black being used in the center console and on the steering wheel, and we also have like this glossy wood finish. In these AMGs, I would like to see, you know, more carbon fiber being used, but everyone's taste is of course different. You can of course customize these screens to your liking. Shows you a lot of great information. Of course, you can see your rather poor fuel economy. You know, you get 14 in the city here, 19 out on the highway, but what do you expect out of a performance SUV weighing over 6,000 pounds? Anyway, we have a wireless phone charger here. You have these heated cup holders. I also like this kind of suede material being used on the headliner. And we have a massive pano moonroof here as well. Something I really like about the GLS Benz is just how lavish the space is. So I'm 5'11", I can easily get in and out of this SUV. I can sit behind myself in the second row. We do have the optional captain's seats back there. And even in the third row seats, I can fit. The trunk is also a decent size as well. But keep in mind things like the BMW X7, that's also a rather good practical package. For instance, I am able to fit in all three rows of the X7, and that too provides pretty decent trunk space. The Q7 is the one vehicle with the most impractical third row seats, just so you are aware. And with that established, let's go ahead and let's conclude this review. Concluding thoughts on the 2024 Mercedes GLS 63 AMG. As an all-rounder performance SUV that does everything, I do appreciate this vehicle. It's got a nice, sturdy, tank-like sensation out on the road. The engine is phenomenal, brimming with character. I believe the person who traded in this GLS 63 purchased a Bentayga, and that makes sense. That is the next logical progression in a charismatic V8 powered SUV that blends in comfort and agility. But of course, the GLS is a big, practical 3-row SUV. So if you know you're going to utilize the 3rd-row seating, then the GLS is a great pick. But as mentioned before, so is the BMW X7. That's another great competing product. Although design-wise, I might have to give the edge to the Benz, because I've said this multiple times in other videos, but almost any Mercedes-Benz product, it kind of blends in with things like Bentleys and Rolls-Royces. You can park next to those vehicles and the Benz will blend in. However, a BMW or an Audi product, they don't quite blend in. They actually look like lesser vehicles if you're going to park next to a Bentley or a Rolls. I think part of the reason why Mercedes feels so upscale is because, yeah, their design is nice, but they also have that Maybach branding as well, and Maybach is a direct competitor to Bentley and Rolls. Anyway, aesthetics, that's going to be on you. I do personally enjoy the imposing, regal appearance of things like the GLS Benz. And another quality that you can appreciate is, if you're someone who tows a lot, the GLS 63 AMG can tow about 7,700 pounds. That's pretty solid. Once again, a great do-everything vehicle. Comment below, let me know your thoughts regarding the GLS 63 in comparison with things like the X7 or even the Audi Q7 with the smaller 3rd row, but coming in at a really good price. Regardless though, if you're interested in purchasing this GLS 63 that I featured in the video, it's located at Bentley of High Point, North Carolina. Once again, they are the very first Bentley dealership in the United States. That's pretty cool. They are able to ship nationwide. And if you would like to contact them, I will have Chris Rivas and his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to contact. Chris Rivas also runs an exotic car rental business called Billionaire Exotics. So if you're in the Charlotte or in the Miami area and you want to rent things like Bentleys, Rolls-Royces, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, etc., then I will have the Billionaire Exotics Instagram page linked in the description box as well. Thank you again for watching this video. Take care and goodbye.